Enter the land of the Vikings, where stout-hearted seafarers guided their long ships up shallow inland rivers and sparkling mountain fjords. Today, the Vikings still reign as the finest seafarers afloat. They learn from the winds, the seabirds, the channels, each other, and harness their knowledge through lessons of time. With nature as their compass and experience as their tool, they voyage across unknown waterways with the instinct of masters. Come, be a part of the Viking tradition. Join us for our voyage home. As your captain navigates through the straits with the flawless precision of Viking ancestry, you'll be surrounded by majestic beauty. Steep walls of evergreen continue for miles. Waterfalls flow through lush, sloping mountains, and Norwegian fjords surround you. Witness the perfection of the rugged terrain from the pampered elegance of your own ship at sea. You'll sail through our homeland in the time-honored traditions of the noble Norsemen, to Geiranger, Honningsvåg, Tromsø, Molde, Flam, Gudvangen, Bergen, and Oslo, Norway, round trip from the enchanting city of Copenhagen. You'll glide through the misty drama of Geiranger Fjord, a fairy tale journey through narrow inland waterways, and see cliff formations and waterfalls like the Seven Sisters and the Sutter that boast a story all themselves. Wander the picturesque village or head to Dalsnabba Observation Point for a stunning view of the massive fjord a mile below. Royal Viking's voyage home has become more than a cruise adventure. For us, it's a special tradition of festivity, of friendship, of fun. Sip the water of life, aquavit. Watch your crew don handmade costumes called bunads and become performers for the evening. Join in the festivity of the song dance, oldest of Norway's folk traditions, and sense the spirit of Scandinavian warmth and hospitality. You'll find your ship also sets a precedent of inimitable style, from the exquisite crystal, china, and silver service to impeccable attention to detail. Our Norwegian manner rivals all. Each sumptuous meal attests to our privileged membership in the Concours de la Chaîne des Hautes Yeux. But the grand Norwegian buffet outshines all. From intricate butter sculptures to glistening artworks of ice, you'll find the presentation is as elaborate as the cuisine itself. Indulge yourself in exotic specialties of the north, like gravlax, reindeer venison, and Norwegian apricot. Celebrate in the robust Viking manner with a feast for days on end. Imagine crossing the Arctic Circle while dining on fresh smoked salmon, venturing to the desolate land of the midnight sun while sipping fine wine, or listening to the sounds of classical music while gliding through some of the most dramatic scenery on Earth. The bleak, unyielding land of the North Cape, where daytime is endless. Barren land stretches for miles, and nomadic Lapps and their reindeer live bordered by the blackness of the Arctic Sea. Like the adventurers gone by, you'll be able to stand on Europe's northernmost promontory and watch the midnight sky cast an eerie glow. On the rustic edge of Norway lies Tromsø, site of the Northern Lights Observatory and home base for explorers and scholars like Amundsen and Noble. Ride a cable car up to Storsteinen Mountain for a bird's-eye view of peculiar sod-roofed houses below. The exhilarating drama of Norway by sea is unsurpassed. But venturing to the highlands from the tiny fishing village of Flam brings a whole new perspective of the lifestyle, the people. Take the railroad to Voss and Gudvangen, up rugged cliffs and striking countryside, or opt for the extended overland excursion that rejoins the ship in Bergen. Surrounded by 7 mountains and the sea, Bergen's wharf is lined with charming 15th century Hanseatic trading posts. Ride a funicular railway to Fløyen for a harbor view from above. Shop the town, or visit landmarks like the Fantoft Stave Church and Trollhaugen, Edvard Grieg's home. Norway's cultural heritage comes alive in the capital city of Oslo, home to celebrated Norwegian artists and sculptors like Munch, Hovik, and Gustav Vigeland, who spent 30 years creating the human emotions you'll see emitted from over 150 astonishing statues within Frogner Park. We've selected to begin and end all of our 12-day summer cruises to the North Cape and Viking homeland in the fabled city of Copenhagen. Like the gentle tales of Hans Christian Andersen, Copenhagen's enchantment appeals to the child in all of us. Colored lights twinkle from Tivoli Gardens. The Little Mermaid statue welcomes you in from the harbor, and the fun-loving Danes greet each visitor as if they wish you'd never leave. It's such a well-loved city the world over that our 13-day Russia-Europe cruises also begin and end in Copenhagen, with pre- and post-cruise options to stay even longer, if you wish. Royal Viking's Russia-Europe cruises this summer mark one of the most exciting cultural experiences to date. Never before have we grouped so many diverse capital cities under one 13-day cruise program. You'll cruise to ports like Stockholm, Helsinki, Leningrad, Hamburg, Amsterdam, and Oslo. Each name and each country a virtual monument of global importance. In Stockholm, Sweden, you'll sense the prosperity by the massive parks, well-kept bridges, and modern comforts. Take a river ride through the beautiful canals in this gracious city of islands. Helsinki. Streets become art in this white city of the north, a mecca for Finnish architecture and design. Helsinki owes much of its good planning to a disastrous fire in the 19th century, which led later architectural greats like Engel, Saarinen, and Aalto to rebuild the city to its current impressive stature. Stroll the esplanade for Marimekko fabrics, furniture from Asko, and fine china and crystal. Visit the Rock Church, carved into granite and domed in glistening copper and glass. Or leave the heart of town and venture through the lake country to Vitrask Exhibition Center for Finnish art and handicrafts. Few cities surpass the cultural and political intrigue of Leningrad, so you'll have 2 full days to explore it in depth. From the ornate treasures and gilded cathedrals to the nearby palaces of czars and czarinas, you'll begin to sense the glamour and the richness of Russia's historic past. Poets like Pushkin, and a wealth of magnificent art at the Hermitage Museum. Over 3 million exhibits await you. Rare gold and jewels housed in the treasury room, Rembrandts and Van Goghs, and the mystique of the Winter Palace itself, former home of Nicholas and Alexandra, last of the Romanovs. Choose to visit Moscow on an overland adventure, rejoining the ship for the daylight transit of the 61-mile Kiel Canal. A maiden call in our Russia-Europe program is Germany's principal port city, Hamburg. Wander the dock areas of this spirited free city to the notorious Reeperbahn, known to sailors throughout the world for its colorful and candid amusements. Visit the beautiful old churches. Stroll along the picturesque banks of Lake Ulster. Or try a knockwurst and a stein of the local brewery's finest, St. Pauli Girl. Known as the market city since the golden era of the 17th century, Amsterdam is a multifaceted landmark for shoppers and dreamers. In addition to being the diamond capital of the world, it's a fairy tale land of wooden shoes, windmills, and waterways. Let yourself be pampered like royalty while cruising the cultural capitals of Northern Europe, and tailor your vacation to your own desires. Fly to England for 3 additional nights of London theater with our optional land program. Or combine a Russia-Europe cruise with the British Isles and Ireland. We are notably proud of our homeland, of our heritage, our fjords, our Scandinavian staff and crew. There's a special kindred spirit as we journey through our waterways. And we invite you to join us on our Viking voyage home.